Man has been fishing since ancient times. A fisherman today, like 1,000 years ago, relies on nature. You catch fish today, but you might not tomorrow. Ships, equipment, and fare may change, but the nature of this job is still very difficult and exceptionally mannish. It takes physical vigor, wit, and sometimes mere luck. A fisherman's lifestyle is connected to the water. Every time they are at sea, they struggle with nature, not knowing what is in store. Their ancestors caught fish in the same way for hundreds of years. Now, it's their turn. They are the people of the water, Russia's fishermen. Kalinovka, a fishing signer, is preparing for an expedition that will last almost half a year. Its target is Pacific Sari. Fishermen joke, "We are going after cans." 7 long months, from September to April. Kalinovka will be plowing through hundreds of nautical miles in search of fish schools and a successful catch. Meanwhile, fishermen's wives and children will wait for them on land, counting days till their return. In a few minutes, the crew of Kalinovka will part their native land for a long time. The ladder is being pulled up. The mooring lines are cast off. The fishing signer starts its long-term expedition humbly, without a pompous send-off. The captain of Kalinovka, Nikolai Gavrilov, has been at the helm for 13 years. He's one of the most experienced seafarers in this neck of the woods. Many people dream of getting into his crew. Nikolai is often called a captain of fortune. Under his command, Kalinovka always comes back with a good catch.
He made repairs, installed new equipment. He hired a new team, which had been working there for 13 or 14 years already. Maybe a couple people left in those 14 years, but mostly they make up a core of experts that hold on to him and want to sail only with him. Only with him.
The day before Captain Gavrilov's departure, his soulmate, as always, promises to wait for him, counting every minute till his return. They've been together all their lives, but she never stopped admiring her brave captain.
I think the best captain is the captain of our Kalinovka, which is stationed here at the Far East. He's a hard-working man, a hard-working captain. He works and works and works all the time. He didn't have a vacation in 14 years. He's on Kalinovka all the time.
On land, the captain is far from being talkative and prefers to keep a low profile. But at sea, in his own element, he's a true leader. All interactions in his crew are based on trust, and every sailor has a right to speak out. The captain relies on his people and will stand up for any of them with might and main.
He's always on top of what's going on in the families of people who work on his vessel. He's a kind of person who cares very much about his ship, and he loves it. He always tells me, "You are the most important thing to me, and the Kalinovka is the second important." I simply love it. It's my thing. I just cannot live without my ship.
Ilya Kostyanenko is a new deckhand aboard Kalinovka. He's not even a real fisherman yet, just an apprentice. He has a very vague idea of what's waiting for him at sea, as this is his first tour. Ilya is welcomed by engineer Vladimir Kazayev. He volunteered to give the newbie a tour of the vessel. Hello? Hi there. My name is Ilya. Vladimir, you're the new deckhand. Exactly. Well, let's have a look around. Welcome, as they say. Right to hell. Okay then. Let's see what we have here. That's the engine room. You have no business there. It's where mechanics reside. This is our mess room. Here we come to hang out, to eat, to relax, to have fun. There, some even do arm wrestling. And here we have, and what's there? A laundry room. washing machines, a sink, all that stuff. And this is the crown jewel of our enterprise, a sauna. Hey, you. What have you found there? Ilya is a musician and a loving father of a charming little girl. Grab the handles. Where are the ball's handles?
Bring it here.
Bring it to mommy.
Bring it.
To mommy.
Come on.
Good girl. For the first time, Ilya is leaving his wife and his baby girl Nika for 3 long months. His internship will last only for half of the tour, but even this period presents a serious test for the sailor's family.
I was saying, no, Ilya, no. No sea stuff. How will I stay here by myself? But then we sat down and we talked it over. Okay, let him try it.
Maybe I'll get it out of my system. And afterwards I'll be going there just once a year for 3 months and then come back home. Ilya believes that nowadays art and poetry cannot bring you lots of money. He tried on many hats in his life, working as a bartender, a team leader in a children's camp, a construction worker, and a landscape designer. But he was always drawn to the romance of sea life. Ilya is convinced that the profession of fisherman will give him new experience. If you are doing some kind of art, you need to get your inspiration from somewhere. So in this case, I can go to another place, get new experiences, have some new thoughts and ideas, and spend some time with myself far away on a ship. I think it's cool. And the payment is good, too. The only thing troubling the young sailor is that his daughter will have to celebrate her very first birthday without her father. Edward Bury, a deckhand on Kalinivka, is very much used to long periods of staying away from his family. He's been going to sea for 23 years, half of his life. Even the news of becoming a father found him on an expedition.
The boy was born on March 6th, but Edward only found out accidentally when he met his friends from the village on another vessel. They already knew he had become a father, but he still didn't. We did send him a telegram with congratulations right away when our son was born, but my husband found out only 2 months later. Basically, there was no means of communication.
Edward's wife sighs. Having to take care of the house by myself is not the hardest part. Being in the dark for months at a time is what really gets to me. Anything can happen at sea.
The scariest moment is when you hear that some vessel has sunk. Then it really starts. You get all worried and anxious. Even now when it's time for him to leave, I cry for like 3 days. Don't go, stay. It just doesn't feel right.
It will take several days for Kalinivka to reach the fishing ground, the southernmost Kuril Islands. That's where immense schools of migrating sari flock in the end of summer. Meanwhile, the crew habitually takes their places and everybody gets down to their work. Viktor Tsibenka is the third engineer. He's responsible for the heart of the vessel, its engine. The temperature in the engine room exceeds 40 degrees, but the engineer doesn't have a right to leave his station. Too many things depend on his work. The vessel stays afloat as long as the machinery is working. We watch the machinery and make sure it's working all the time, especially during storms. It should never stop, not for 10 minutes, not for 5 minutes, because a storm can easily swing the vessel in any direction. And when it's turned the wrong way, a wave can come and push on the ship, making it careen. And then anything can happen. I used to work on another ship, and there was a situation once when the engine died, and the steamer careened at 40 degrees, and it kept staying like that for several minutes. It was very scary. But then the engine started again. We leveled off and went on sailing. A railway mechanic from Rostov-on-Don, Viktor Tsibenko, came to the Far East in the late 90s in search for something unique and a better life. He's been sailing on a fishing boat for 15 years. In that time, Victor started a family. My little daughter is the only reason for considering another profession, he says. While on land, Victor spends all his time with his family. But we learned how to subtract tens today. 40 minus 20?
2.
2?
20.
2 tens. Write down 20. Okay, next. 30 minus 10. Of course I want to stay home, to spend more time at home. And I want tours to be shorter, because at the moment, they are really long. It would be much better to go home after 3-4 months. Keeping watch on the bridge day and night are navigation officers or captain's mates. First mate Sergei Mitsko, born in Crimea, was dreaming of a football career as he was young, but then the thirst for seas and adventures got the best of him. He chose solemn Pacific over warm Black Sea. Back then, I think it was something like a travel bug, a desire to go places and see things. And I also had a vague idea that it's possible to earn money this way. The fishermen have reached their destination. It's night, the perfect time for fishing. The crew is deciding whether they should set a trap here. Shall we set a trap up then? I say we don't. Why not? We can get at least 1 ton. On the port side. That way. On the starboard side. Fishing Sari makes for an astonishing scene. It can leave anyone impressed. Salty sailors find special kind of joy in it and impatiently wait for the start of a new season. Sari is being caught at night with a light beam. Powerful lamps hang all over the stern. Schools of fish attracted by bright light get into the trap, prepared underwater. The trap has cleared the board. Turning on the remaining lamps on starboard. Basically, Sari is a kind of fish that responds to light. Depending on the water temperature, depending on the voltage that we set up here, the fishing goes differently. When we step on a fish school or on a field, we transfer it from port to starboard. And when it's gathered under the central shot, we turn on the red light. The fish freezes on the spot, and they have no way to get out of the trap. It sort of starts boiling. The crew on duty is on deck. Sailors pull up the trap, but it seems they are off to a rocky start. There's very few fish inside. Fishermen call it a blank. Completely blank. Not exactly. Maybe 50 kilos. This can happen. The pump wouldn't even take it. Yeah, no point. This is just a first try, something like a practice. Seasoned seamen say fishing is like an ocean wave. One moment you are down, next moment you can easily go up. Bad luck will later turn into a good one. The experienced captain explains, the water temperature is not right. That's why there's no catch. At the moment, the fish don't respond to light. The temperature is 15 degrees. So the fish are just running around the boat right now, non-stop. The captain makes contact with other vessels in the area to check up on the situation with his colleagues. So we've caught about 3 or 4 tons just now. Is that it? Yeah, nothing else there. I hear you, Vladimirovich. Okay then, good luck. All the best to you too. All the best. But the fishing just doesn't go well today. A streak of bad luck continues. A storm alert was issued to all vessels. It's no longer safe to keep on fishing. Kalinovka drops anchor in a bay near Shikatan Island. The crew is allowed to retire till tomorrow. The morning after the first fishing, deckhand Ilya Kasyanenko shares his experiences. So far, nothing special and no fish. There is, however, plenty of hard, monotonous work and unpleasant rolling under the feet. I thought it would start as soon as we set sail. We'll be busy with work, and the time will just fly by. But so far, it's been going slowly. Yesterday, something broke down, and there were no fish. They couldn't find it or something. I'm not a pro in these things, so I'm not sure. And as for the rest, the crew is awesome. Everyone's interesting to talk to. There's a lot of new stuff to learn from them. Seasickness is killing me, though. The first 2 days were seriously rough on me. I felt really bad, but I guess now my body got used to it and it's not so bad anymore. That's a good thing. And although the sailor hasn't seen a big catch yet, his first several days at sea were not a waste of time. He came up with new verses. Faraway shores are left in the past, dear folk, old chords and guitars and quarters filled with smoke, closing the floodgates, all hands on deck, raging waves, ladies and burning hearts on a quay, ocean, vastness, freedom, being alone, thrill of the storm, watching the sun set till it's gone, clear blue sky and deep water's lure, southern tide blues throughout this long tour. Ilya's wife, Daria, didn't take his poetry seriously at first. Neither did she fall in love with her future husband right away.
I didn't like Ilya. I would see him from a distance.
And be appalled?
Yeah. He was always screaming, twitching, jumping. And I thought, never ever. But he had this friend.
Still have?
Still has this friend. They went to the army in the same year. In summer, I think. And came back together in summer. So first I met his friend, who then introduced us. He suggested once to meet with Ilya, and out comes this dude with this striped shirt and this beard and a lot of hair. And I'm like, damn. And that's when I was interested.
Ilya hasn't yet decided to commit his life to the sea forever, although that's how many seasoned fishermen started. Despite being hard, their profession is respectable and well paid. And most importantly, the sea gets under your skin. People come here thinking that it's just for one tour, just to check it out, and then it's the second time, the third, the fourth. They fall for it and keep going till retirement. Many years ago, straight after school, Nikolai Sidorov went into the fleet service in search for excitement. And now, for as long as his strength and his health would allow it, he'll never become a land person again. I'm drawn to sea. You know, I just got used to it. I don't want to fuss around on land to look for another job. I don't want all that. I'm used to this. Everything here is familiar. I do a tour and then I have time to relax. Nikolai has been working on fishing boats for more than 20 years. At first, he was a simple deckhand. Then he graduated from a nautical school and became a trawl master. A trawl master plays an even more important role. Finding fish is one thing, and preparing rigs is another. If you do it wrong, it doesn't matter that they found the fish. You won't catch anything. Fishing results depend on how well the trawl is prepared. Catching sari is one of the most physically challenging kinds of fishing. Wenches are not enough, and the crew has to manually hoist up the trap with weights and fish. Especially when the weather is bad, nets start swinging 1 meter here, 2 meters there, and it can become quite difficult. And when a trap brings little fish, so you pull them one after another, by morning you get what they call monkey hands. Daytime means rest. People recover their strength before the night shift and go about their personal business. Radio Officer Sergei Shashev is a Mr. Fix-It-All. He knows how to handle just about any device, be it a radio, a sonar, or a hair trimmer. On top of everything else, he's an onboard stylist. Oops. So, are you ready? Well, Sergei, a crew cut? Sergei is one of the most experienced crew members. Sailing different vessels, he's been all over the globe, from South America to Scandinavia. Keeping him company on every tour of Klinivka is Gerda, a gorgeous blondie and the only female on this ship. Oh, now. Come here. This is Gerda. She's been going to sea with me for 7 years. No one to leave her with, and now we are going for a walk. Engineer Viktor Tsibenko spends his free time in his quarters. His favorite pastime is reading. Going on tour, he takes an electronic book with him, but his home boasts a real well-stocked library. I prefer detective stories, historical novels. I really like The Diamond Chariot. I reread it several times. It's really good. Akunin and his Fandoran series have basically become classics. I think everyone read it several times by now. Talking about historical books, I also like Valentin Pikul. Yes, I love Pikul. Whatever book you pick, it's very interesting. I like the favorite historical novel. Also, Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. I'm very much into those times, that period of history. The wind is running wild over the seascape. Visibility gradually deteriorates. The first mate calls a sailor on duty, Eduard Bory, to the bridge. It wouldn't hurt to consult another experienced person with a good eye. Good evening. Hello? With the onset of darkness, Klinivka makes a stop again, waiting for schools of sari. The captain personally guides the fishing process from the deck. Go on, work the pump. This time, the fisherman got lucky. The trap is not empty. The catch is not big, but it's better than nothing. A special powerful hydraulic pump transfers sari from the net onto the ship. The crew's spirits are clearly improving. Now we have them biting. Finally, Ilya can see a real fishing in the ocean, the real reason for his coming here. The second go. It's going well. But Fisherman's happiness didn't last long. An unwelcome guest came by the sorry school. The predator was attracted by the light and the numerous fish. Guests like this get into Fisherman's way quite often. The problem is that when they approach, they scare away all the fish. So we pull up the trap and it's half empty, or even completely empty. Sometimes you have a shark gate crashing, sometimes it's a whale. You get fur seals, you get many other creatures. And it's not so bad when predators simply scare off the fish, but when they end up in the trap themselves, like this ray, fishermen have bigger problems. We pull up the trap, for example, and a whale comes and starts chasing Sari. Fountains of water everywhere. Sharks also get caught in the nets, in the trap. Actually, they gnaw their way out and swim away. But our trawl masters and deckhands have to repair it afterwards. And the fish itself is not likely to follow orders. At any moment, the fish school can move aside, leaving the vessel without a catch again. And then even the bright light won't be of any use. The fish has left while we were standing. It's got enough of light. It doesn't stay at the hole all the time. It follows the light a bit and then leaves. That's it. It got sick of light. The daughter of engineer Victor Tsubenko had an assignment in school, an essay about her father. Half of the kids in her group have their fathers at sea at the moment.
My father is a fisherman. He sails around different seas on a huge steamship. Daddy is very strong and brave. I don't see him very often, and I miss him a lot.
The son of deckhand Edward Bori is graduating from school soon. He's an athlete, a pro-level fighter, and he wants to work in the emergency response service. I got my first medal in 2002. I started only a month before that. We had a competition, and I won the first place. I was only 7 back then, and later I became a champion of the Far East and a Primorsky Krai in Sambo and also in Judo. Bogdan resents his father for never being available. He was always on a tour preparing for it. The life of the kid was full of long periods of absence, and missing his father, he blames sea and fisherman labor. Children of fishermen don't understand the romance of the sea. They simply need their father to be there for them. I often ask my father not to go to sea because this long distance thing was really hard for me. And on one hand, he listened to me, but on the other hand, he knew well that he has to go to sea because he's doing that for me and Mom. Well, and I also understood that. I respect him a lot for that, for all his efforts. Edward doesn't want his son to follow the path of a fisherman. He thinks there are many great opportunities on land too. For now, the key thing is to get education and choose a profession worthy of a man. Well, I don't think it will be in any way connected to sea. At least, I wouldn't want that. I want him to be somewhere in public service, either in emergency response or in military, especially since he fits all the requirements for that. He's been a cadet for 3 years now. That's how it is. And he's interested in that. They often go to boot camps. Even as a child, Edward's wife wanted to marry a real sailor. Living with a seaman is not a struggle for her, it's a source of pride.
So it's kind of the opposite. When I met him, I was so proud that my husband was a sailor, that he goes to sea. And almost all my friends are also married to seamen. So we understand each other pretty well. We know how hard it is to wait for their return.
As recently as several years ago, fishing vessels basically had no means of communicating with the land. Now everything's at their disposal, like satellite phones and text messages that can be sent and received at the radio officer's room. Sergey, hello. The rumor is that we can call home from here, or are there other means of communication? Of course we have connection. Here's a phone, iridium. But satellite communication is very expensive, 38 rubles per minute. Almost 40, right? 38. Yeah, but there's an option of sending a text. You can do that for free. A text? Yes, you can exchange text with your wife just sitting here. A message came unexpectedly. When you are separated by the element, even a short "hi, it's me" seems very cordial and touching. Dasha hurries to reply. She's asking, tell me where you are. Can I call you? Are we at Kamchatka or Kuril Islands? Southern Kuril Islands. Southern Kuril Islands. Near Iturup Island. Crap, it's been only a week, but it seems like half a month. We departed on the 27th, and today is the 4th.
I miss him very much. Of course, it's hard staying by ourselves. Nobody to help, no shoulder to cry on. We are husband and wife, we talk all the time, and now I've no one to lean on. It's too bad he wasn't at Nika's birthday. It's really sad, but he wrote a message with congratulations. So that's how it goes.
Dasha is an inexperienced seaman's wife. She still has to get used to the fact that fishermen can contact their family only at strictly regulated times. Fishermen's wives know when to expect a call and get on pins and needles when news from the sea doesn't come for a long time. Different things happen, of course. Sometimes they call on a tragic or unpleasant occasion, but mostly people come here to have a hearty conversation with their family, and naturally, they leave with a smile on their face. So, after 30 years of working here, I can definitely say that's how it is. After many years of marital life, wife of fisherman Buri learned to deal both with long absences of her husband and financial problems. Previously, the seafarer wasn't very lucky. It's only his third year on the successful Kalinovka after different other signers. The money was often not enough.
It happened right before the new year. Yeah, he returned from the tour on the 26th. So he comes home, and I'm welcoming him. Actually, they arrived to another town, and he was coming from there. So I'm welcoming him, hugs and everything, and he says, Tanya, $300.
For 3 months.
For 3 months. And he's standing there, all miserable like a beaten dog. He's standing there and he says, Tanya, only $300. That's it. That's what he earned in 3 months. And I told him, well, it's not your fault.
For a long time, the family couldn't afford their own place and had to live in a dormitory. They got a separate apartment only several years ago. The fisherman did all the renovations himself and naturally is very proud of that. The renovations lasted for 3 years. I would come after a tour and spend those 4 or 5 months of free time taking care of that. We were going little by little. First one thing, then another. My wife was very glad, of course. Very glad. And it all worked out. But again, only with the help of my wife. We were putting up wallpaper together, and she was generally a huge help. Kalinovka is waiting for the nightfall to start catching Sari again. In the caboose, cook Victor is preparing dinner for 20 people. Bread is baked on board, the rest of food supplies are stocked before departure. Victor has been in fleet as long as he can remember, starting from his army service, so he knows all trade secrets of marine cuisine. I think there's actually nothing special about it, except that the ship is rolling, so you have to think how to attach all the things you have to tie them up so they don't fly around during a storm. On land, you can just put it down and go somewhere. But here, you put it down, and the moment you turn away, it can fly somewhere. Victor is a professional cook from Belgrade. For every tour, he flies in from thousands of kilometers away through the entire country. That's life. If you want to provide for your family, you have to work somewhere. So we come here out of despair. Here we have a chance to earn at least something. You cannot earn this kind of money on land anyway. Time on board is 1932. Dinner. Enjoy your meal. The mess hall is where people have their meals and fun. Also, it's where birthdays and New Year are celebrated. On these special occasions, the crew always enjoys a small feast prepared by the cook. It can depend on the weather conditions. They can ask to prepare something specific. But mostly, it's on birthdays and other holidays when they ask to make a cake. The onboard diet is excellent, but staying away from land makes you crave for something familiar, home-cooked. That's why fishermen always bring on board all sorts of tinned goods prepared by their wives.
He loves salad from tomatoes and cucumbers. He always says, I'm going to take cucumbers and tomatoes, put them in my fridge, and at least for half a month, I can eat home-cooked food.
The wife of deckhand Ilya Kasyanenko jokes, while her husband lives and eats at sea, she'll forget how to cook.
No one to cook for. I used to cook for 3 people. Big pots, buckets even, but now it's 1 spoonful for Nika and that's it.
At least in these 3 months, Ilya will definitely learn some great ways to cook fish. In this business, no housewife can beat the fisherman of Kalinovka.
Oh, he's actually very good at frying. Actually, I never scale fish or cut it or fry it. He does everything. He does everything, and he does it very well. He's also very good at salting fish, salmon or any other fish, so I never even touch it.
The sun slowly approaches the horizon. The crew is preparing for the night shift. The sonar technician is closely watching his instruments. Finding schools of sari in the ocean without sonar is next to impossible. Equipment helps to determine the exact place for fishing. Detecting fish. It has an antenna extending under the bottom of the boat. And this antenna rotates and searches for schools of fish. And then we set course for that school and prepare a trawl or a trap. When you can see underwater, it's very good, very useful. Kalinovka's sonar detected a huge school of sari. Sailors on the deck and bridge sprang into action. While luck is on their side, they need to set a trap and catch as much fish as possible. Again and again, fishermen lower down the heavy trap and then pull it back up. Dog Eric, as a proper crew member, takes active part in the process. Enough, Mikhailich! And this is the moment which makes sari fishing a must-see. Thousands of small fish flooded with a red light jump out of the water, creating millions of splashes. The catch amounts to several tons. Well, Ilya, nice sight. Amazing. First time I see something like that. Today is the first good day. Nice haul. My favorite type of fishing, I guess. Why? Because the fishing is unpredictable. To have success, as they say, you have to go at it every day. Sorry is a harsh type of fishing because every night makes a difference and it shows in the morning. Some got a catch, some didn't. The catch directly influences the fisherman's payment. More fish mean bigger compensation. Every successful shift boosts up the crew's morale. Cold, moisture, exhaustion, none of that matters if the cargo hold is filled to the brim. The fisherman profession will stay useful for many years to come because it's useful. And humanity needs fish that can be caught only at sea or in the ocean. I think there will be need for fishermen for many more years. Early in the morning, Kalinivka approaches a factory ship Zaliv Vostoka. This is where fishermen hand over their night catch. Tons of fish are washed into a special bag and stored in the refrigerator. In its heyday, Kalinivka used to deliver 50 tons a day. But now, at the very beginning of the fishing season, catch size is by far not so impressive. The expedition, though, has just started. The crew has half a year ahead of them. There's sea, which means there's fish in the sea. People always catch something. Sooner or later, every fisherman starts to think about the day when he has to come ashore for good. Some push those thoughts away. Some, on the contrary, want to quit it all and start living a normal life. The sea has always been and will always be keeping fishermen and their families apart. I would never want my grandson to go to sea. It's better if he finds some office job where it's warm and there's no winds or raging storms, where it's calm and quiet, so he can be with his family and children every day. At first, this lifestyle and the romantic aura of the ocean are fascinating, and then they become so overwhelming that the ship feels like a second home and the crew like a family. Deckhand Ilya, who went on a 3-month fishing expedition, and his young wife, who's waiting for him on land, have yet to find out the meaning of the phrase, "the sea doesn't let go."
To be honest, I'm not ready to accept that he'll be going out to sea for more than half a year at a time. I mean, it doesn't really matter how much money he earns. No, but it's his choice. And he's my husband, and more importantly, he's my good friend. And I respect his choices. So if he wants to become a sailor, then he'll become a sailor. Vladivostok always needs fish.
Yet again, Kalinivka sails into the vastness of the ocean in search of a better catch. Every day on the ship will be similar to any other, and at the same time very different. Monotonous landscapes of the Pacific Ocean will many times be replaced by the vivid colors of light fishing and stormy skies. This crew won't come back to their land till spring. The fishermen will continue doing their hard and dangerous job at the edge of the earth, in the realm of waves and harsh northern wind.
Всем делам моим на суше вы моряки, и назло моим заботам на земле. Вы возьмите меня в море, моряки, я все вахты отстаю на корабле. Вы за мной пришлите шлюпку, моряки, поднесите рюмку водки на весле.
The day has yet to break. The air is cold and humid. The crew is not yet on the stern, but they are not asleep. Everyone's waiting for the captain's order to set the trawl. This is the signal from the bridge. It can come at any time of the day. 3 rings mean that the trawler, as they say here, stepped on the fish. The credit for a good catch always goes to the captain. On the other hand, he's also responsible for failures. It all depends. If the vessel was sailing around the whole day and the captain didn't catch anything, crew members become all gloomy and disappointed. So I have to do my best. Arctur is at the ready. The whole crew gathered together on the stern. The captain has determined the movement direction of an anchovy school. The vessel is moving towards it, and soon it will start scooping up the fish in a huge trawl net. Out goes the trawl. The vessel is swaying hard today. Waves reaching 1.5 meters coupled with a side wind. In these conditions, it's tricky to set the rig at first try. Go right. I did. I took to the right. Go on, guys. I'm starting to drift. Drifting must be avoided at all costs. The port is close, not to mention shallow waters and underwater rocks. And the trawl getting entangled or torn would mean the end of fishing. Hey, it's not working. We're gonna lose the trawl. Up, up, up. Come on. Don't ever do that again. Stop, 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 stop. Pick it up, come on. It came off. Don't just stand there and hook it. I said don't just stand there and hook it. In intense moments like this, discipline and subordination on a civil vessel can compare to that of a military one. The ship captain is the president, the prime minister, the chief justice, and the attorney general. Otherwise, it doesn't work. The captain carries unquestionable authority. If a captain's orders are not carried out, what kind of ship is it? It's just anarchy.
What?
Zapir has changed Dagestan for the Black Sea coast 12 years ago. But he still remembers his first fishing season at a new place like it was just yesterday. The Caspian Sea never experiences storms that rough. Why did I come here? That's exactly what I've been thinking. There, at the Caspian, the storms were also harsh, but it's nowhere near the mess I got into here. It's pretty bad. Today, Zapir has absolutely no regrets about moving to the Black Sea coast. It's here that he and his wife had their 2 daughters, the twins Sabina and Saida. Let's build it together.
Are you small?
What?
Are you small?
Me? Yeah, when I'm with you, I'm small. What are we making there? Caves or something?
Yes, something like this.
Okay. And it's here that an old dream of Zapir to build his own house came true. The family used to rent cramped apartments and has just recently moved into a new place. It's not yet completely fitted out, but it's their own home. Basically, we were doing everything ourselves, trying to save money whenever possible. Timur, our chief mechanic, did the wiring in the house. He came to help as a friend. He's my classmate. We studied together in nautical college. In Dagestani tradition, hospitality is a sacred commandment. That's why it's so important for the captain to get everything ready for receiving guests. This is the way to the backyard. The construction is not yet finished here. But in time, we'll make a barbecue place for guests, for friends, a small and cozy backyard to get together in the summer. The crew of Arctur is setting the trawl with the boat rolling. The conditions are difficult, but everybody understands that they can't let the fish school slip. The work is tough and stressful. The fishermen are in a hurry. If the fish are clustered together close enough, the daily target can be reached in one haul, allowing the vessel to return to port straight away. We want to hit this school on the first try. We've disturbed it already, so it might leap aside, go deeper, or hide it in the rocks. Then we'll have to search for it. But at the moment, we have a chance to make it. But the attempt to step on the fish school failed. Anchovy promptly retreated and started playing cat and mouse with Arctur. The trawl is hauled onto the stern for another try. Every person is focused to the utmost, waiting for a command from the captain and the trawl master. Out goes the trawl. The long fishing gear snakes out overboard. For the fish to go inside, the trawl has to unfold evenly, like a parachute. Move on. The right one is ready. Trawl doors make the trawl unfold horizontally, and these round floats, together with the foot rope, allow it to open vertically. For younger fisherman, Yuri Karkoshkin is a prudent mentor. Today, he picked up someone else's shift. It happens to him a lot. Away from the sea, the old fisherman gets melancholic. I come home, spend like 2 or 3 days there, and everything starts feeling wrong. Everything is being done wrong on land. I get annoyed a lot, so my mate tells me, it's time for you to go back to sea. An old fisherman that he is, Yuri, has been retired for 3 years now, only he's in no rush to embrace the life on land. Experts of his level with such a huge experience in the fishing fleet can be counted on one hand. When I just started making my working career, I was a sailor on international tours. That was something. We were really tough guys. And now fishermen are scorned. It used to be a good, respected profession. We became like those extinct mammoths. And what do you do when there are no workers? So while I still have strength, I'll keep fishing. For Yuri Karkoshkin, there are no professions except for maritime ones. In his 40 years on the fleet, he has seen many things. I never believed in killer waves, but it turns out they exist. That wave came from the starboard side. See the bulwark? The bulwark was just crashed, 10 meters from the stern, here into the passage. Windows in the captain's cabin got broken. The engine room got flooded. Good thing, not completely flooded. Dangers abound on the Black Sea. History knows cases of freighters having been cast ashore, let alone small fishing boats. Arctur is in his 30s. By the fishing fleet standards, it deserves a retirement, much like the old trawl master Karkoshkin. That's why the chief mechanic Karimov treats the vessel with special care, as a doctor would treat an elderly patient. The engine is old. Some parts need to be changed, and at times it really needs some patchwork. I'd say it's like a self-preservation thing. If you have skillful hands, the head will get there as well. Everything's ready. The trawl master is directing the setting like an orchestra conductor. Wenches come into play at his command, and the entire rig goes into the water. Up. Stop. Doors into the water. This time, the trawl opened nicely. Everything went without a hitch. The crew is waiting now for 3 rings. That's how the captain would signal of the trawl having collected enough fish. This run is sort of sparse, right? The recording shows a normal run. Hoist up the device, Timur. Hoist up the device. I think it might go over it. Go tell him to hoist it up. Maybe it's just stuck. Well, it seems to be going fine. At least the fish have left the shoal. Now let's see the result.
Want some tea?
Several years ago, trialmaster Sergei Bobov quit his small business in the faraway Murmansk and moved with his family to a warmer place, thus paying a tribute to the dream of his youth. Before turning into a businessman, Sergei graduated from a nautical college in Kaliningrad and was allocated to Murmansk. He worked for several years on big vessels, started a family, and left the fleet, only to join it again here at the Black Sea.
The lifestyle changes. When the husband is always at home, it's one thing. When he comes and goes, you have to reorganize everything. Everything falls on your shoulders. The house is big and it can get difficult, but I'm used to it now and cannot even imagine him always staying at home.
Sergei confesses that he never learned to love the sea again, never became obsessed with it as he was in his youth. It's just how things turned out. For me, it's not my calling. It's my job. Although, in the times of the Soviet Union, I loved my job. But now I love doing something else. And this job is just a way to earn money, nothing more. The activity that Sergei Bobov really loves waits for him at home, or under his home to be exact. That's where he's eager to spend every free minute. He developed a love for woodworking on crafts during classes in school, and not even the sea was able to dampen his passion. A job is for working, and here is for relaxing. Although this is also work. But here I can relax, so to speak. It gives me a lot of pleasure. Sergei and Anna have 3 children. The youngest one, Vanya, is still in school. The 2 oldest ones are already university students in Krasnodar. Back in childhood, they love long tours of their father. Anna says no wonder, that was their age. When the cat's away, the mice will play.
When their dad was away, everything is allowed. They were 18. They are older now, and of course they regret it. The work is hard, as you understand. The older son was present there. He's seen how it is. That it's not so easy to earn money.
Doors! This job doesn't get much attention from the younger generation despite its adventurous nature. It's just too hard. Even among those who are attracted by romantic sea life, few can actually handle it. Those who don't get passionate about it just simply leave. There are a lot of people who come here, work for 1, 2, 3 days, and that's it. They pack their things and leave. They are not okay with this. But it's mostly young people. Young people don't come here. It's over. There's a saying in these parts, how do you tell a fisherman on the street? Easy. It's a person whose eyes are always tired. Lack of sleep. I mean, when you have fish coming, you work day and night. You can't just go to sleep whenever you want. You can rest only on stormy days, when the vessel is on the moor. Dennis is in a hurry to cook lunch, and if he has enough time, also dinner. The caboose on this boat is tiny, almost no free space. Dennis is far from being a small man, but he feels pretty comfortable in this kitchen, which is only slightly bigger than himself. When the boat is rolling, you are pushed over here. You spread your legs and immediately go back over here, and then again. And if there were more space, you could easily fall. So, that's a positive side. A crew of mighty men working 24 hours a day has an excellent appetite. A person gets strength from food, right? And if you use a lot of energy, you have to replenish that energy. The cook knows what he's talking about. His job is not limited to the caboose. Everybody on our tour takes part in the fishing, regardless of the position they hold on the vessel. I take care of the cooking in the kitchen and also help out on the deck, setting the trawl, collecting the fish, processing the fish in the hold, and I'm trying to do all of that. So I cook something quickly and off to the deck. Dennis has been on the vessel for just 1 year. Not used to sea conditions, once he almost left the whole crew without lunch. A rolling made the refrigerator fall down with all the prepared dishes inside. I was sitting on a stool and peeling potatoes when the fridge started sliding. It was horrifying for me. It was stopped here by the door frame. The doors opened wide, and everything that was inside, breakfast, all pre-cooked dishes, just fell out of it. Borscht! Everything was spilled all over the cabin, all over the dining room. Dennis had never before worked so fast and energetically, as there was very little time left till lunch. So I started cooking soup and the main dish, and also cleaning the cabin and the kitchen at the same time. I was sweeping everything that got broken, putting it into a garbage can, but I made it in time. While the husbands are at sea, the wives do double the work. With the sea cook leaving, his spouse goes on duty too. Apart from working in a kindergarten, she also needs to take care of her own offspring. For Irina and Daniela, mother means work days. Homework, house chores, discipline, and father is a long-awaited holiday.
And at first, for about 3 days, he's very easy on them. But then he gets down on education. He often says, "I'll get on the boat and never come back." Daniela, you have to get prepared for school tomorrow.
Hey people, the weather is amazing. I said we go somewhere. Why do we stay all the time behind a computer?
Let's go.
It's hot outside.
Sunny?
Really hot. Last days of November and you are still at home.
Are you leaving on a Thursday?
Yeah, I'll go by car in the evening.
And we're going to be left alone again?
It's not a big deal. Somebody has to earn money. So hurry up, get dressed, and let's go. The Denisov family has come to the Black Sea in search for a better life very recently. Before that, they lived in Stavropol area. Denis used to work as a mechanic operator on a private farm, but then suddenly decided to change his life. Here, you can earn good money on a boat. You just have to study first. We had some savings at home, and I also got my monthly paycheck. I left a part of it at home, and with the rest, I paid for my studies. Natalia could never even imagine that one day her husband will become a fisherman, and their family will end up so far away from their home.
They say the thread follows the needle. So, I don't know. I love my husband. I love my kids, so I listen to him. I don't know if he listens to me, but we always discuss everything together, and we try to reach some agreement. So, we agreed that we need to move to Timbruk to be together.
Dennis studied to be a sailor and a cook at the same time. Actually, he learned his way around the kitchen even as being a child. A tragic misfortune hit his parents. It made a young boy develop very grown-up self-dependence and responsibility for others. They got into an accident. They survived, thank God, but we're all broken. And when I was 6, my mom was in a cast from the waist down, so I took care of her since I was 6. Like kids usually learn to fry eggs, and I was 6 when I cooked my first borscht. And later, while I was taking care of my mom, I learned to do everything. Dennis wants to settle down in Kuban. For now, same as many other newcomer fishermen, he doesn't have his own place. A personal house is just a dream. The work can be really rough, but he doesn't want another one. The nature, the water, all this calm beauty, seagulls, which I don't know, follow us on our entire journey. Dolphins that swim along the boat from sunset to sunrise. While Artur is trawling, there's time for a quick bite. The meal is fast, without any chatting. Time is precious. The captain on the bridge is staring intently at the screen. It seems the fish has not left yet. The school is still there. It's the one the trawl is supposed to catch. I hope we get lucky this time. We've been on this chase since morning. Zapir calls captains of other ships to tell them that he found a nice school. His colleagues immediately start coming to the fishing ground. On land, competitors are never treated like that, but here at sea, it happens all the time. One vessel is not enough to fish through all this area, but when it's 6 or 7 boats, they stay at a distance, take different depths, and share the school. The fishing brethren live according to their own unwritten code. At sea, everything is simple. Men are brothers to each other, not wolves. But on land, things work differently. That's why there are so many fishermen among those who have no one waiting for them on the shore. Those who are trying their luck in marriage for the second or even third time. The family life of the old fisherman Yuri Karkoshkin also didn't work out. His ex-wife, kids, and grandchildren have moved to Ukraine a long time ago. 4, all boys. The oldest one is Sergei, great footballer, plays in the first league of Ukraine with Arsenal. And the youngest one is Oleg. He turned 15 the day before tomorrow. And another 2 are Artyom and Vitaly, 8 and 10 years. I visit them about once a year. This year I went there in February. Next year I'll go again. We talk. Everything is fine, both with kids and grandkids. Grandkids are really feisty. A signal comes from the captain's bridge. The process of the trawl net being pulled up is accompanied by deafening cries of immense numbers of seagulls. They fly in from everywhere, pick up small anchovies, and pluck fish from the net. The trawl is pulled over the starboard, and the hull is lifted out step by step. Only upon seeing the first batch, you can estimate the catch quality. Considering the current situation in the fishing industry, the catch is satisfactory. I think it's about 8 or 9 tons. But we'll have to set the trawl one more time. Even the mechanic doesn't sit out the time of trawling in the engine room. He participates in the process on par with the rest of the crew. Staying on the top, Timur takes care of everything that moves and buzzes. If everything works, if the visual inspection of the machine shows that everything's spinning and swinging, I just pump in oil, fuel, and water, and that's it. I go down to the deck to help guys. Even our captain comes over to help to shovel fish. He can also go into the hold to push boxes. He's not over all that. It's one team, one family. We have a good understanding. Small boats are equipped only with the most essential things, ledges and winches. Unlike large-scale oceanic fleets, there's much more manual work here.
I think it's very difficult. My father sailed his whole life. He's a labor veteran. He worked on a cargo ship, but it was an easier job. They did some loading, but mostly they used cranes for that. But this, such a strenuous manual work, physical labor, I didn't think he had that. So I think this job is really bad for their health.
Anna doesn't want her husband to work as a fisherman till retirement. Hopefully in time, they will start their own small business. But for now, the head of the family keeps going to sea and spends his free time in his workshop.
Here's a cupboard that he made. with hand-carved weaving, these stools and the table. But this is simple stuff made in the beginning. This nice chair from a block of wood. We have more, it's just one of them. And things like this. He makes them often for our friends.
Anna has also found a hobby. To make waiting for her husband more tolerable, she started cross-stitching. Anna jokes, that's how businessmen turn into fishermen and artisans.
And these pieces are more serious, like this icon. There was another one, but I sent it to my mom. Some little things. Nothing else, I think. Flowers are my job. That's what I do in my free time. Oh, and this small table was made by Sergey. Coasters are also his work.
Our tourist trawl can take 25 tons of fish or even more in one go. But it's never unloaded on the vessel all at once. First of all, anchovies are tender. They will get smashed and lose their marketable condition. Second of all that weight can make the vessel careen, seriously endangering it. History knows precedents. A wave came together with the wind of 20 to 25 meters per second, and the boat careened on the starboard side. It was a critical careen. We were close to overkeeling, but we reacted fast, came to anchor, and then we had to drop all the catch on the starboard to set the vessel straight. There were cases when the trawl came up with a deadly catch that nearly cost the crew their lives. Several times, landmines and bombs from the times of World War II were hauled up the board together with anchovies. We pulled up a mine, reported to authorities. On the fourth day, a bomb squad came, attached the mine to a pontoon, dragged it to deep waters, and then shot it from a naval ship. And even if it's not a bomb caught up in a net, but a peaceful dolphin, it still doesn't bode well. Big misfortunes are to come, say fishermen. Either something will break or the trawl will get torn. That poor fish. They follow anchovies and end up in a trawl net. So sometimes they don't escape in time and get caught. And we often have tears or breakdowns with weeks of downtime. Anchovies have to be brought on the shore fresh. They are mixed with ice and loaded into the refrigerated hold. Denis Denisov and several other fishermen go downstairs. There's an unwritten rule in the sea. The hold is the responsibility of newbies. Who knows, maybe one day these very fishermen will take the places of captains in the Black Sea Fleet. That is, if the road plan of Black Sea states on protecting and reclaiming the sea works out. Otherwise, these young men will become the last representatives of their profession on the Black Sea coast. It's not like the fishing industry is still there. I moved here to the Black Sea from the Caspian. So if it dies out in the Black Sea, I'll have to search somewhere in Murmansk or in the Far East. It means migration, and I'm not exactly in that romantic age of moving anymore. Pessimists say in 1 or 2 decades, the fishing industry in this area will no longer exist. I think that there's no future on the Black Sea. We are the last of the Mohicans. The competition in this business is harsh. Fishing companies constantly fight for sale markets. The money you earn depends on how quickly and expensively you manage to sell your catch. The most important question in the head of a fisherman is what he's going to bring home the next day. Old men are trying to convince the younger ones, hold on there, the sun will shine on your street too. Here, at the Black Sea coast, fish is the biggest treasure. No way people stop caring about it. If I wouldn't have been a trawl master, I would have been an economist. In the fishing fleet, of course. Because you see stuff here, and we were taught well. They taught us economy and fishing industry. Everything's done wrong. Russian ports in the Black Sea count about a dozen of small fishing boats. The fleet is undergoing transformations. Within a framework of the Convention on the Protection of the Black Sea, bottom trawl nets are being substituted by more environmentally friendly ones, signs. Meanwhile, fishermen keep working in any conditions, often risking their own health. Just this year, one trawl master had his eye knocked out. A strap ripped in stormy weather and hit him in the eye. So a man is left with one eye now. The youngest son of Sergei, Vanya, is convinced his father is a very brave man. The sea is scary and dangerous, but his father is not afraid of anything. Last year, he was going home, but then a big storm came and they were under a cliff. Their ship stopped there, and they stayed there for 1 week. When I went to Dad's ship, I got really scared. They have 2 ships there, and both of them are rusty. The captain evaluates the quality of the catch right on our tour. The size and the type of anchovy determine its taste and value. Zapir personally takes a sample, a handful of salt, a bit of seawater, and in half an hour, anchovies are good for eating. A Black Sea delicacy. Ready to eat right away. Mildly cured. Sabina and Saida wait for their father's return. With him, the joy comes into the house. The captain knows all too well how his daughters miss him, and he uses every opportunity to call home. It brings you some tranquility when you know who's waiting for you at home. You look and you call. So you talk to them, look at the picture, and you feel very good. It helps. It helps a lot. His girls, despite being twins, are very different. One is into drawing and modeling, the other one takes sports classes. The captain's family life seems serene, but this truly Caucasian man misses the most important component of happiness, a son.
Of course, even kids are asking for a third child. I guess it's his dream as well. Once, my daughter came to me and asked to buy some cabbage, and I'm asking her, what for? And apparently she already talked to her father.
Weighing shows that one haul brought about 11 tons of fish. It's not bad, but as the weather is still on their side, the fishermen open the trawl again, and once more, the bell rings 3 times on the vessel. And once more, the crew goes out onto the stern. By the end of a difficult shift, their biggest desire is to go home, but after coming ashore and resting for a couple of days, they start longing for sea again. When you become a sailor, especially in the fishing fleet, it's what they call a sickness. You cannot drop it, the fishing. I wouldn't say there's anything romantic about it. You just have to love your profession. Many things happen, but I never thought of giving it up. It's a nice profession. Weather forecast. Black Sea, area 555. The wind is eastern, southeastern. Meteorology Division issues a storm alert for the night. Our tour has to quickly return to the port, despite its hold not being completely full. The crew's hurrying to load the rest of the catch. Nobody likes the idea of getting caught in a storm. Yeah, the weather's frowning. Today's conditions are not very favorable. The fishermen are in a hurry, yet they work like a well-oiled machine, understanding each other without words. Without team spirit, there's no work. There's no work at all. If the crew gets along, if people click, Never try to break them up. Stick to this time-tested team. For a crew to run smoothly, you need more than 1 or 2 years. A fisherman spends most of his life at sea, where moments of despair alternate with moments of excitement. And this life away from land polishes the character like water polishes a stone.
He used to be a completely different person. From being a completely domineering man, he turned into a more calm one. This work in a group, in a big team, it has a good side. All people there depend on each other.
With the hold getting almost full, the crew can have a break. It's time for playing pranks. There's a fisherman tradition of preparing a special treat for the captain. There's this fish of the anchovy family. It's called chief. It doesn't come up very often, but sometimes guys would check the first haul and find it. They would tear off its head, gut it out, and still raw, give it to the captain for a snack. That's how the crew plays pranks. Darkness sets over the sea in an instant, the way it happens only in the south. The storm is closing in relentlessly. The wind is getting stronger, making it impossible to set the trawl again. Artur is coming back, carrying about 25 tons of fish on board. It means the day was well spent, but the fishermen will keep working into the night. Tons of anchovies still need to be unloaded onto shore. Good evening. What's not good about it? What can I say? Yours is good, ours not so much. And why yours not so good? Because our evening is just starting and yours is already over. True. The fishermen load the boxes into a refrigerator truck that came right onto the pier. This process continues till 2 a.m. The shift is finally over. But the Artur's crew will depart again in search for catch as soon as the weather will allow it. In the most difficult moments of history, the residents of this region were saved by the sea. And as long as the Black Sea is treated with respect, as long as there are still people who care about it, the fishing industry will live too. And that promises well for the market in Tamaruk, which has always been boasting anchovy, a swift little fish that tastes like caviar.
Всем делам моим на суше вопреки, и назло моим заботам на земле. Вы возьмите меня в море, моряки, я все вахты отстаю на корабле. Вы за мной пришлите шлюпку, моряки, поднесите рюмку водки на весле.
Sergey, come.
I'm coming, honey. Ready? Good. Let me try. It's just a blink of an eye. We'll be back in a month. Medals are waiting. In several hours, Sergey is going to change his service coat to a regular sports jacket. But at the time of trawler's departure, Captain has to be all dressed up. Cap's up there? I'm here? What's this? Change your clothes. You're embarrassing us. Oops, sorry. Hi there. Hello. That's on record. Hi. Hi, Oleg. So here I have the papers. I see. It's enough to enter a port. I mean, not Terebrika, but Murmansk, where everyone can go home. And in just 2 days, they meet like they've been away for a century. This is to prevent it from falling when the ship's rolling. Leave the spring line and cast off the rest.
When I'm asked who my husband is, I say he goes to sea. And it's something, you know? Although in Murmansk, the status of sailors went down, still it's a men-only job. It's not like being a salesman in a store.
Yulia, the wife of deckhand Pyotr Polenis, drives her husband right up to the ladder. With the imminent parting, every minute spent together is precious. Bye. For fishermen, long farewells are not about lyrics. It's just easier to fight with the element and to deal with the despair of monotonous days when you know that somebody's waiting for you, when your last minutes on land were filled with warmth. There are physical factors and there's also morale. If we talk about physical ones, it's mostly lack of sleep. We don't get enough time to rest when there's a lot of fish. And morale? When you're at sea for a long time, you really get homesick. How long will they stay apart? Nobody knows. Maybe 1 month, maybe 2. Rosioki's crew is going to sail the sea expanses in search for cod and haddock. These northern fishes are the most valuable here. Every person working in the Murmansk Coast Guard has a sea background. That's why formal communications in the control room occasionally have a touch of personal concern. Rosioki to Murmansk 32. Yes, Murmansk 32. Rosioki here. How are things with authorities? Border closed? Yes, authorities will leave the vessel in 5 minutes. We are ready to depart. Please send dockers for unmooring. Okay, copy that. Sending dockers. All the best. Have a good fishing. Thanks, bye. Full speed ahead. So here we have, how's that? Full speed ahead, come on. Godspeed. Kilometers from Murmansk. Hundreds of miles covered to no purpose. Rosioki has been looking for fish in the Barents Sea for 3 days, but the trawler's cargo hold is still empty. The crew's morale is in congruence with the situation. Stop! Stop! And on top of that, the harsh nature of the Arctic is making itself felt. A Force 5 storm worked up its rage. Icy, bone-piercing wind is blowing punch in the back hard. Waves are flinging the 30-meter vessel back and forth like a toy. Where are you dragging it? Look at me! The captain's on the bridge. His stare is flipping all the time between the screens and the waves in front of the trawler. It's 5 in the morning, not much sleep. 4 hours is a luxury. The boat is small. Everyone's dealing with fish, and I'm here all the time. Roads and trips we go. The captain is 50 years old. 32 of them he spent at sea. In that time, he's seen it all, both abundant catches and empty holds. Catastrophes occurred and tragedies unfolded in front of his eyes. He too had to deal with many predicaments, but the fight with the element always ended with him on the winning side. He earned a long-standing reputation of a cool-headed sea dog. But as a boy, his dreams were not so much about deep waters as about the sky. I wanted to study in the Barnaul Higher Military Aviation School to become a fighter pilot. But since I don't have the nasal septum, I was told that I'm not eligible for aviation. I can only go to infantry or fleet. We had offers from maritime colleges of Nakhodka, Kamchatka, Vladivostok, St. Petersburg, and Sakhalin, 5 altogether. And when me and my mates were on the Ruski Island at the Far East, we were like, shall we go to Nakhodka? Sure, why not? So that's how my maritime life started. The most dangerous and the most mundane thing for fishermen is a storm. The captain doesn't keep any seashells at home anymore. Fishermen say that it's bad luck. You might never return back on the shore. Lena took every single one of the seashells and threw them away. She's not superstitious, but if it makes her husband feel safer, she's not going to protest against it. Once again, the trawl is being pulled up on the main deck. Everyone is watching the net as it emerges from the deep waters with genuine interest. At this minute, fishermen look much like the miners looking for gold. It happens all the time. You run around for 1, 2, 3 days with no result. You know the fish is close, but you can't pin it down. But then we find it anyway. It's in our blood. Not a hint of joy on the faces. The trawl came up with barely a quarter of its capacity. At the most, it's 2 tons of fish, while the goal is 7. Luckily, there are several more days of fishing. Enough, Sanya. Help Nikolaich with the sacks. As soon as the trawl is emptied of the fish, it's thrown back into the sea. Rossiyoki's catch leaves much to be desired. Sergei Gorbachev makes contact with captains of the fishing vessels sailing nearby. Hello, Uncle Sasha. Pick up the phone. Hello, good morning, Sergei. What did you want? I wanted to know your catch from the last night. We didn't get much. The end product is about 2 tons. But the fish is small. Again. Yesterday we got 3 purses of cod, 120 or 110 meters. I'm freaking out already. Basically no fishing, no haddock. Where did it go? I have no idea. That's it. It's beyond me. Captains are competing against each other, but here, at the open sea, survival depends on mutual support. That's why captains share the best fishing spots. Listen, and right now, do you get any readings? No, Sergei, nothing. Maybe just a few scattered ones. I heard Angkor was prowling around there, but Nurpa pulled up a lot. Aleut was also prowling there, but then Arkasha ran off to the top of the 5th. He said it's also haddock, but bycatch makes it fussy. So he ran off. And why would he fly to the other end of the world, not capable of talking? If he'd have asked me, I'd say that 10 miles to the south, you can get 600 kilos of flatfish. The last trawl brought even 800 kilos. The fish cannot be stored on the ship for more than 7 days. From the moment the first trawl comes up, there's only 1 week to fill the cargo holds, return to the shore, and sell the catch. A person shows his real worth when things get rough. And at sea, things are rough for everyone. I don't dream of fish. I do dream of vessel repairs, though. Yes, vessel repairs. And sometimes I even talk in my sleep. So in the morning, my wife would say, I guess you were repairing something in your sleep again because you were shouting a lot. The lower lower deck is where the fish is being cleaned or gutted. It's the main job on the vessel. Everybody participates in this dirty conveyor regardless of marine hierarchy. Everybody except for the captain. Let's go! Let's go! Bring it on! 4 movements. Just 4 movements. This is how I do it. I take it like this. 2 fingers in its eyes, 1 under the chin. First, this movement. Second, cut it off. 3 and 4. That's it. When we are swamped, of course, I work here. It's good fish. On big vessels, it's not so very common. When the crew is big. But here everybody is a fish processing worker. When things get really crazy, that's how it is. From the first engineer to the first mate, everybody does the gutting. I've never seen the process organized like that, to be honest. You know, gutting like this with a knife, couldn't imagine. But the fish is always fresh, so it's actually good. You haul up the trowel and quickly process it, so it's not lying around for days. It happens in a moment, means quality, and the taste of the fish is naturally totally different. Hard and exhaustingly tedious labor, gutting for 18 hours at a time. The shift continues until all the fish is gone. For fish to stay fresh, it has to be quickly gutted, covered with ice, processed. Then you can have a tea break. Of course it's hard work, who would argue? But it needs to be done. Not much choice. You know, people have to eat nice, tasty fish. Am I right? Next to the ship, seagulls and cormorants are having a feast. Waste products from the fishing conveyor are thrown into the sea, and flocks of birds swoop down on it. But in the caboose, pots and frying pans are as empty as it can get. The cook had worked a 10-hour gutting shift, and now he's sleeping. The captain is reduced to eating instant noodles. No, he's resting now. What time is it? He'll wake up at 8, cook lunch by 12, and then work the fish. So we stick to noodle bricks for now. Our cook cannot always prepare food. Sometimes the ship's rolling, for example. So you sit down, eat quickly, and keep going. How was the night fishing? Not very good. We got 2. 2 tons? Yes, pulled up 2 tons. We'll set the trawl again now. The first mate will set it, and we'll keep fighting. Good morning, Sergei. Good afternoon already. On a morning comm session with the vessel sailing nearby, Gorbachev couldn't resist telling about his meal. But he didn't get any sympathy. Captains of high latitudes are famous for their ironic set of mind. Well, whenever I meet you on land, I wouldn't say you people lost a lot of weight. On the contrary, your faces are growing and growing like weeds. So don't pretend like you are starving. A new day, and it's Force 5 storm again with headwind blowing at 20 meters per second. But the holds are still half empty, so the fishing continues. Once more, the trawl rattles overboard. It seems that the captain never sleeps. Several years ago in the vicinity of Spitsbergen, he got relaxed for just a minute and the vessel almost upended as a result of icing up. So I wake up because of the silence. It's quiet. I jump up, rush to the bridge. My first mate was really young. So what he did is, he heaved too. And the ice we had was like, from this, it turned into this. The ship is heeling, so I gradually start straining the angle of list. Little by little, I caught the wave, and I say, guys, just a bit left. Let's break our way out. So we broke our way out. The effort it took us. Otherwise, we would have just flipped over. If I didn't wake up, who knows how it would have ended. This is the most famous church in Murmansk, Church of the Savior on Waters. It was basically crowdfunded, built on donations. When the captain is at sea, Lena, as many other wives of Murmansk seamen, comes here. She lights up a candle before an icon. Her prayers have only one plea, for her husband to come back home, safe and sound. Fishermen don't follow the time of day. Concepts like breakfast or dinner don't exist here. Every fisherman comes over to have a meal when he has some free time. Eat fast, work fast. Sleep fast. Yeah, sleep fast. And slowly go to work. Mess room is not just a dining room. It's a place for talking and hanging out. Following an unwritten marine rule, nobody leaves dirty dishes on the table. No exceptions, even for the captain. Who else? Who would wash it? Everyone's at unloading now. Who would wash it? Here, we have self-service, so to speak. No waiters. No cleaners either. Everything by ourselves. You eat, be so kind, clean after yourself. Otherwise, the cook will eat your head off. For dirty dishes. That's how it is. Viktor Bogdanov is the master of the kitchen, one of the most important crew members. As they say, in heaven, God is a cook on board, or cook on a sail is of admiral scale. The first time he ever set sail, Viktor wasn't following his heart. They drafted me, put me on a train, and sent me to the north. You can say from the backyard of Russia. The first several months, Viktor was dying to return home, to get away from this rocking, closed space and ice-cold wind. He would have never believed that after serving in the Navy, he will end up working for 30 years in the civil fleet. I mean, nobody is forcing you or dragging you here. I came to the office. They offered me a boat. Will you go? Sure, I'll go. The papers are sorted and that's it. If you don't want to go, it's your business. This is just a financial question. Because on land, I cannot earn this amount of money anywhere. The menu is that of a regular eatery. Borscht, cutlets with spaghetti, chicken with mashed potatoes, and of course, fish. No way around it when you are on a fishing trawler. Guys eat everything, literally everything. I just need to cook it. They like all of it. Soups, meatballs, meat soup, absolutely all of it. Fish soup too. They ask me to make a fish soup from something special, but we have only haddock here. So what can you do with it? Nothing really. The entire fishing fleet is facing a sad fact. The fish have left. Where? Why? For how long? Where to look for it? Nobody knows. Sadly, that happens. The trawler stumbling around the sea like a blind kitten. At moments like this, everybody's looking up to the captain, and he's looking at the screens. Haddock mostly sticks to shoals. Yes, to shoals. Shallow waters, like 120 meters, 110, 90, 50 meters. That's her place. And cod likes bigger depth. But in summer, cod also resurfaces to 50 meters. You can detect it only by the readings. Haddock, cod forms these sort of bushes like here. And haddock stays in clouds, same as capelin clouds. It shows in red, really like clouds. So the readings help you to determine whether it's cod or haddock. Intensive red on the screen represents dense schools of fish. But when the sonar stays silent, the last resort is intuition. That is the fishing instinct. Over here is where haddock is usually caught. Over here too, you can catch it. 116 meters, 115 meters. It prefers to stay on sandy soils. It likes to poke around in it to find all sorts of worms there to eat. But cod is a predator. It needs a different kind of food. We simply messed up here. We should have rolled down deeper to have a look, but we went another way. Anyway, as they say, every day is not Sunday, so now we are in a pickle. I think we'll just keep going and everything will be okay. The trowel tumbles into the sea. And finally, a long-desired catch. The captain makes a visual estimate. It's at least 5 tons. As seafarers say, fish is like a prodigal son, always comes back. Yeah, that's our job. Like gambling. If you have a streak of luck, then it's okay. Sometimes a couple of hauls make all the difference. We play till the end. We never give up. A couple of hauls makes all the difference. Sonia, get that one. The fish is also struggling. This is the perfect size. Makes for a stable fishing. We load the bunker and set the trawl again. If it's bigger than that, we have to wait before the nets are emptied, then gut the fish, and then set the trawl. We lose time. And this is the sweetest catch. Good fish, calm sea and everything. The lower deck is buzzing. It's gutting time. Carcasses are rinsed in water and stocked in refrigerator holds. This is lumpfish. Got caught in the trawl. It's a so-called bycatch. Its flesh is not for eating, only its roe is. Flatfish, this is Atlantic wolffish. And this striped blue one is the northern wolffish. White stripe means cod. Black one, haddock. Production engineer Sergei Boychenko was nicknamed Fish SWAT. Without looking at the scale, he can fill the box to reach the required weight. You can always just add a small one, see? Add one. Add one, that's it. The target, 23.8. So I try to find a match. That's good. Done. We have a margin of 5%. So if a box here says it's 45 kilos, I can make it 47.2. No, 47.3. 47.25. Or the lowest weight is 43.75. 43.75, right. The thing is that fish still has water in it and the water will seep away. The water will seep away and the weight will be smaller. Cod is more lightweight. Not exactly lightweight. I mean, it gives off more water. Right, here it is. Enough. Go. Freshly refrigerated cod and haddock are valued more than the fish frozen into an ice block. That's why carcasses are buried deep in ice chips. The trawler has been at sea for 5 days. But so far, the tour cannot be called successful. Cargo holds are not full yet. There's not enough fish. Only 2 days are left till the moment when the fish, even buried in ice, will start to rot. The crew grows dead silent. It's not common here to be cast down, but fishermen's faces become even gloomier. Of course the spirits get low. We went to sea to catch fish to earn money, and it's not working out. So the mood is poor, ghastly, but everyone's making jokes. Thank God we can go home now. But I have this nagging thought. What's the point? What did we come here for? By mid-tour, many sailors have their gutting gloves torn apart. The boatswain, grumbling, has to reach into his coffers. Petrucha, come over, take it. Okay, got it. Next one, Tikhon. Where's Tikhon? They say that the appearance of the vessel can give you an idea of the crew's boatswain, the chief manager of resources. The tougher is his character, the more order you have on board. I think it's not the professional expertise that matters, but the personality you show at sea. Professional part comes to you with time. You can learn how to do your job. What's important is to be a good person. If you are a good person, you'll be treated well, too. When a new person comes, you watch him. Say you are busting your hump and he's taking smoke breaks. He either has to smoke or to make a call. He's constantly slacking. Boatswain screams. The most in the fleet, I guess. Screaming a lot. People say to me, go ahead, grumble, get it out of your system. I mean, different things happen. After a working day on land, a person returns home to his family. But at sea, you are forced to talk to the same people 24/7. It's literally an enclosed space. 3 meters here, 3 meters there, brushing against each other. Every morning you wake up and see the same faces. It can get to you a little. Some people are short-tempered. Some people are sort of emotional. And of course, every little thing can make people go at each other. But then it's over and they go their ways like ships at sea. The captain aims to nip all conflicts in the bud. You wait to return from sea, get on land, and sort it out there. But I never really had it in my practice. As you can see, everything's calm and quiet on my ship. Nobody has issues, everybody works. This is work. We don't have time for personal stuff. You go to sea, you leave your problems out there, and this is the sea. Bell rings 2 times, and crew members start walking onto the fish deck to set the trawl again. To be more exact, they are dragging their feet and rubbing their eyes, as this day they had only 2 hours of sleep. Petya's not here? Sanya, give Petya a nudge. Waves reach 5 meters in height. Staying on the deck is dangerous. At any moment, one of those waves can wash someone overboard. Surviving in the ice-cold water is possible for just several minutes. And finding a person in the raging sea in this period of time is next to impossible. Nobody wants to end up on the sea bottom, so fishermen watch out for each other. Careful! Nikolaich, back down! In this weather, dangers are lurking everywhere. Several masters have been washed off with the fish. They untie the sack with the fish and the fish starts flowing out. They don't react in time and get washed off, maybe even overboard. There were cases like this. On certain vessel types, the gutter is not closed. There's just a rope stretched and that's it. So they untie the fish sack, let it out a bit, and make an easy knot to deal with the first batch. The knot easily gets loose, just like that, and the fish flows out of the sack. That's it. A man gets knocked down and thrown overboard. Anatoly is way into his 60s. but he still keeps going to sea. The seasoned sailor has an unquestionable authority among crew members. Let me. Here. If you want it to work, you have to do it with your own hands. Then the trawl will work. You have to assemble it, to check it, to fix it. It shouldn't be lopsided. On the 5th day of the tour, when the new recently bought trawl was being pulled up, a tragedy happened. It seems to have hit a big rock on the bottom. Upwards. The oil is hissing. It's been hissing a while. Unwind that one. That one. Over there, further. Come on, come on. No good. Nobody could have imagined that an absolutely new net will get out of service so soon. The captain gives an order to prepare the spare trawl and resume fishing. Sometimes on a tour, a trawl would catch hold of something on the bottom and remain there. In this case, the vessel has to turn around and start looking for it. The search can continue for several days without yielding any results. Doesn't it make you feel bad after all the work you've done on it? Big time. How can it not? It hurts. Oh well, I'm gonna go. There are some areas where you set it and bam, it's gone. I had this navigation officer once. We were working to the southeast of the Bear Island in the Norway area. And I tell him, here you have to stick to the passage. But he deviated for half a mile. The trawl just snapped off. Bam! And it's gone. The 6th day of Rosioka's sail. Cargo holds are filled on 2/3. A little bit to go. The catch size is not so bad, and there's a reason to be happy. But an unexpected thing happened. The only remaining trawl once again snagged a rock on the sea bottom. It completely ruined the selective mesh that allows smaller fish to escape the net. Without this mesh, fishing is illegal, which means this tour for Rosioki is over. Okay, that's enough. Let's get going. Homebound. Finita, we're going to Tribrika. The storm, needless to say, we need to hurry. Even if we spend 10 hours on repairing it, we still won't be able to set it. We are running out of time, so we are going to Tribrika port.
You look out the window and think, my God, the ship might be rocking so hard at sea now. How are they doing? Yes, it's hard. When they have this men talk, we always listen. What's it about? What happened? Because they prefer not to talk about things. So I overhear something and then start asking little by little what happened. Everything's fine. Tell me what happened. Until he says,
Hello? Hi. How are you? How's Vitya? Fine? And his grades in school? Good, good. I'm okay. Tomorrow I think we'll be in Tribrika, so I'll call you from a regular phone. The trawler is hurrying off to Tribrika, a small village on the Barents Sea coast. Out of the cargo hold onto the pier comes boxes with the fish. Several dozen tons of catch. It's time for the most exhausting part. Just sit and wait for a new trawl to be delivered and the vessel to go fishing again. The captain doesn't really know himself where his real life is. On land where his family is waiting for him, on here at sea where you have constant rocking and monotonous food, but also the special feeling of freedom and the excitement of fishing. Have you seen in Murmansk? they've opened this monument to a waiting woman. So, I think waiting is also hard. It's better to ask wives, though. Waiting is also hard, I guess. But it's better to ask wives. We are the ones being waited for. We come back and it's a holiday. The best holiday is coming back home, not New Year or May 1st, but coming back home. Two months till the end of the tour felt to the Botswana like eternity. But he's already hurrying back home in a quiet residential area of Murmansk. No matter how late the fisherman is coming home, his wife and children won't go to sleep till he opens the door and gives everybody a hug and a kiss. Hi, son, my dear son. How are you? Where's Mom? Oh, Masha came. Masha, honey.
You're here.
Thanks. This is for you, Masha.
Welcome home. Thank you.
And where's Mom? Mom's in the kitchen?
Mom's in the kitchen.
Here's Mommy. Maxime, so tell me, how's your health? Good. How are you doing after the surgery? I'm fine. Fine? Why are you wearing glasses? Are you crazy? I was watching TV. So take them off now. Masha, how are your exams? Did they tell you the results yet?
Yes, and?
And nothing. Everything's good. We'll have a rest and go on a tour again. That's it. What? Give me a kiss. Boy, did I miss you. Deckhand Pyotr Pelenis came home completely run down and exhausted. But the tour was successful, and he finally has an opportunity to buy something nice for his wife. Yulia, walking on her husband's arm, is in a hurry to check all the shops in Murmansk to find a nice fur coat. Spring is a sales season for winter clothes, and windows showcase a plethora of riches. But the time is running out. The captain called 2 times already. Pyotr is expected on the trawler, and Yulia still hasn't made her choice. She's not being picky. She simply wants to postpone the moment of farewell a little bit longer. The saleswoman looks at her with understanding. In this city, every second person is somehow connected to the sea. I like it. Better than that one. Better than that one. And these two are also nice. Try undoing the top button. Before their families know it, fishermen are sailing again over the gray surface of the Kola Bay, towards storms, rush jobs, and sleepless nights. Every trawl will be bringing joy or disappointment, and somebody will definitely wait for them on land. That's how it has always been, and will always be in Murmansk, a city under the North Star. Normal, solid, manly work, real work. I know this work has to be done. Deep in my heart, being a captain makes me proud, because I'm a captain. I won't be ashamed to tell my kids. Actually, my daughter has grown up, so to grandkids, that I worked in the fishing fleet. I sailed around the Bering Sea, Barents Sea. I sailed many seas. I won't be ashamed to say that.
Всем делам моим на суше вопреки, и назло моим заботам на земле. Вы возьмите меня в море, моряки, я все вахты отстаю на корабле. Вы за мной пришлите шлюпку, моряки, поднесите рюмку водки на весле.
This is Baikal, the planet's biggest lake. Ust-Barguzin is a village on its eastern side. It was founded in the 17th century by the Cossack Gavrilo Lavtsov. The founder's name means catcher in Russian, which seems to have influenced the village's fate. The locals have been fishing for more than 300 years. Dozens of teams of fishermen catch omul, the local fish. Baikal is like a sea to them, and the northeastern wind, Barguzin, is the sea wind. Baikal is known for its harsh disposition, so every time they put to sea, the fishermen don't know how big their catch will be. They don't even know if they'll make it home alive.
The whole village survives by fishing. If the fishermen catch nothing, we get nothing and stay home.
Tatiana Popova smokes and dries fish in her kitchen garden using fir cones. She says the local omul contains more fat. That's why it's more highly valued.
We all survive by fishing in the village. And if the fishermen have had a good catch, we're all right and have work to do. We salt it and smoke dry it and put it in the freezer. The most in-demand fish is smoke-dried because you can store it for a long time. And smoke-cured fish, you can have it for 2 days maximum. They buy smoke-dried fish and take it to Israel, Moscow, Germany, and England. Anywhere, basically.
Omul is the most stable currency here. You can sell it to tourists, or exchange it for something, or pay for something with one fish, or a box of them.
It smells not bad. It's fresh. How much? 1 for 100 rubles. 1 for 100 rubles? I'll take one with potatoes.
Vladimir Pfeiffer and his team couldn't start work for 3 days in a row. Wind and impressive waves didn't let them. Sometimes storms on Baikal last for weeks. You can't get used to them. You can only suffer through them. Every idle day is lost time for a fisherman. However, this morning is calm and sunny, so fishermen are in a hurry. Every second the weather can get worse. Waves will fling the boat like a little toy. If the boat is overthrown, fishermen won't stand a chance. Because when you're at sea, water will flow over. There's a dangerous place there. There's a current there. So the wave lifts your boat. Sometimes when you're not finished, you can see it coming from sea. It means danger. We have no luck, as the trailer's engine is out of order at the last moment. The drive belt got torn apart. The only motorboat we had is out of order. It had to tow the other ones. To row for 30 kilometers is suicide. The foreman is nervous. He will have to spend one more day ashore. We don't have our catch if we miss a day. Fish will get caught in traps, but we won't get any of them. Fish die in traps if they stay there for a long time. It's a guess how many fish are in the traps and if they are even alive. The fishermen hurry. They fix the engine using a car belt. Finally, they are out to sea. No, it won't be calm today. It's normal. Tomorrow the weather's going to be stable. The boats form a caravan. The headboat is the one with the engine. It tows the other boats like a locomotive. If Baikal is in a good mood, he'll come back with a catch. The fishermen look at the sky and listen. Baikal is a very unpredictable entity with a severe temper. The mountains surrounding it contribute to the movement of the air mass, which creates very strong winds. That's why every calm moment is precious for us. Pfeiffer's team is the luckiest in the village. Many fishermen would like to work here. The team has a lot of work to do. It has 2, not 1, stationary nets.
These nets catch big flocks of migrating fish, moving up from the bottoms of Baikal, ready to spawn.
These fish are going to the north of Baikal to spawn. That is, they are going towards the shore, then along the shore, then they bump into the wall that we put up there. They go along this wall, and then they end up in our trap. The nets are far apart from each other. Before it gets dark, weather permitting, the fishermen need to get their catch. The work is very fast and exhausting and requires that they work all day long. Two nets mean 3-4 times more work. Something can fall apart here or tear apart there, and we have no choice but to fix it. The fishing season is almost over, so it's the last time for the summer. The fishermen pull the trap out. It is being pulled easily, too easily. We understand there's no fish there. Graylings, no fish. Well, kiss it and let it go. The mood is getting worse, but it's not too late. We still have chances to come back with a catch. Pfeiffer is going to the second stationary net. It's the same there. Storms damage the net, and we need to call a big motorboat to fix it. We understand we're losing precious time, but there's no other way. No success. Sasha, you better push it a little. Yep, a bit to the back. The fishermen are in a hurry. As the fishing season is approaching its end, they need to fix the nets for a day. Otherwise, they'll hardly get the fish. Looking at the calm water, you couldn't believe Baikal is capable of drowning the fishermen boats. However, Baikal waves are worse than salty sea waves. Sergei Kovalov, who worked in the Okhotsk Sea, says, I met people who worked here and in the Navy before. Baikal is a scary place. Freshwater is much worse than salty. It usually is very smooth and calm, but when it suddenly flows over you, it's a scary thing. You should always be ready for constant changes of winds. You're lucky if you have comrades. It's important here on Baikal. Fishermen sometimes quarrel, but they have a rule to leave all quarrels on shore. In our job, it's important to have a partner you trust, so you won't have to look back. I mean, this is team spirit. Well, sometimes we have our bad days and quarrels. It happens. But we still have this togetherness. We are a family, and we look after each other. It's always like that in the team. Everybody shares joy when getting a catch and disappointment when there's no catch. Hi, Sanich. Hi, Vasilyich. Hi, Sanich. Hey, you all right? Not bad. Let's take a look, all right? Sure. Let's go. Fishermen simply don't have time to make lift nets or fixed stationary nets. So it's the chance for the elderly to make money and share their experience. Sanich no longer fishes, but there are no former fishermen. I used to work in a team, but then I had to quit and earn money like that. And as a watchman in a drugstore, well, I've worked at sea almost all my life. There are a lot of fishermen teams in the village. The elderly have a lot of work to do. As they say here, while there's omo in the lake, there will always be work for the people. Vladimir Pfeiffer has two daughters, Lyra and Uliana. They asked their father to take them with him, but he can't do it yet. Got it.
Yeah?
Yes. My girl. What have you been up to?
Nothing.
What were you doing today?
I went to training.
Training.
Yeah.
Everything is possible at sea. It is dangerous even when it's calm. Baikal is not and will never be tamed by man. Here, even the bravest person will worry. Not for themselves, but for the others. Once we caught fish and got into a storm. There are guys with us, and I see them going away. The guys they're young, 18 to 20 years. I start thinking, if they come back alive, I'll kiss every one of them and forget everything, every quarrel, because I'm responsible for them, and how will I look in their mother's eyes? A fisherman's family gathers not very often and not for a long time. All chores, however hard, are entitled to women. While the husband is at sea, a wife needs to do everything on her own. All the village's wives are like that. Of course she does everything. She fires the furnace, she carries water. Once an elderly lady lived here, so she carried water and wood for her too. Sometimes I used to leave her firewood to split.
Well, if you don't respect the choices of your husband, then who can guarantee he'll support you when you need it? I mean, I have a type of job where I need to work on the weekend, when everyone's home, laying on the couch watching TV on Saturday and Sunday. When I get up, my children are waiting to go to training, and he wouldn't just say, "Where are you going?" Stay home.
Vladimir Kreptov is the foreman's assistant and friend. He's one of the most experienced fishermen in the team. His father and grandfather have worked on Baikal too. That's my father, who spent all his life at sea. He was a fisherman, my deceased father, God bless. He was born in 1930, and he was 8 years old when he started fishing. It was in the Chiverkusk Bay. As a boy, Vladimir used to hide in his father's motorbike when he went fishing. He wanted to go with his father so badly. However, he would like to choose another occupation for his son. I don't know. It's his business. I'd like, of course, him to sit in some office and get an education. But if he chooses to be a fisherman, then we'll work together. The only thing the fisherman regrets about is not spending enough time with his family. He's got big catches, he's been in violent storms, but he didn't see his son take his first step. Didn't take him to school. Wasn't around when his boy needed advice. Once he missed his father too. It's a usual thing for fishermen's children. Now his son is not a frequent guest at home. He grew up and went to Ulan-Ude to study. Sure, my job didn't let me see my son as a child. I dedicated too little attention to him. Sometimes he misbehaved and I needed to be around to give advice or maybe spank him. But the mother did all the bringing up. When home, Vladimir is trying to do the most difficult chores. He splits wood, and his wife Olga is cutting her client's hair. They opened a little hairdresser in their house. Olga, unlike Vladimir, likes to spend time at home. First, she couldn't put up with him being far at sea, but then she learned to.
Well, it was like that. First, I tried to say either you change your job or
you leave?
you leave. Well, he tried. He changed the job, but it still didn't work out. But I got used to it. No offense now. Of course, I feel lonely, but you know, it's still his job. He can't live without it. He doesn't stand in the way of my job, after all.
Olga still wants her husband to change his occupation. Because he's not young anymore. It's always windy and cold at sea. Every time he fishes, he tests his health.
Especially in winter. He often catches colds. His hands get cracked from the harsh conditions too. On his back, I need to massage it a lot.
When at sea, fishermen daydream of the shoreline, but they always want to be near water. Fishermen's wives are jealous, but they understand they won't manage to take fishing away from their lives because it'll make them the unhappiest men on earth.
I'm a bit jealous of the sea. Sometimes, when I want to take the whole family to the sea, he comes back home and he says, I saw it all, and he's tired. Of course, in this case, I feel jealous and envy that he was there in the Baikal and we were just sitting at home and he doesn't want to go with us.
At home, fishermen want to live in comfort and care, sleep in a warm bed, eat good food. Vladimir's favorite dish is omul pie. Of course, they don't bake pies at sea, though every fisherman knows 100 recipes of cooking omul. A foreman is like a top dog. He's stronger and more decisive than others. He's like an Olympic team captain, always around to give advice and find words. It's no wonder that sports are a necessary part of Vladimir's family life. If it weren't for sport, it would be hard for me to become a leader in this field or just survive all this hardship. Sometimes you get to have physical exertion and moral pressure too. So you only have to clench your teeth to go through it and stay alive. Vladimir's wife, Natalia, is a children trainer. She's creating the cult of healthy lifestyle in the family. Pfeiffer, being an old salt, started skiing. The whole family goes skiing at the school stadium when they have free time. One needs to relax after hard work at sea. In such cases, the head of the family prefers skis to alcohol. It's much more pleasant to have fun with your family, exercising physically, feeling tired, I can feel connection to each member of my family. I come practically to every competition they're in. Lyra started skiing too. I'm a hardcore fan of every competition she's in. Pfeiffer advocates healthy living among the team's members. Some fishermen quit drinking and sent their children to Natalia. Children get used to sports and fishing from the cradle. Since they get physical exercise there, we use their help to shake these bags or pack fish. It's not even hard for them. They're prepared for this. So it's good and fun. Vladimir Pfeiffer's team is ashore for the third day in a row. They have to wait for the wind to get fixed. If you take the sea, you'll put on hold a fisherman's life. Waiting is exhausting. They're not used to sitting at home for long periods of time. Everybody understands they won't catch fish and earn money in the nearest time. During the forced downtime, the fishermen try to fix an old boat's engine and wait for the command of the foreman. It's the third day, Petrovich. Yes, it keeps blowing, and we have nothing to do with it. Fish are dying. Yeah, I know. But you can see it with your own eyes. We're feeding seagulls again. But I suggest we leave. Maybe. What do you think? Maybe we should wait for the foreman's opinion. Let's have a sleep on it. Maybe we'll get wind from the Angara. At dawn, Vladimir Pfeiffer is trying to leave land again. The weather is good, and they're going to sea at last after the downtime. The children are still sleeping. The daughters will hug their pop only a few days later. All this time, the team will live far away from home in a fisherman's camp on the shore of Baikal Lake.
You ready?
Yeah?
Going back to sea?
Bye, baby.
Bye. All right, take it easy. Bye.
A brief goodbye before another journey. For the next few days, they will only be able to get in touch by phone. The boat is leaking. It is happening right now, when the weather has improved. Instead of fishing, the team has to fix it.
Вот как бывает, на-на-на-на-на-на. Вот как бывает.
The fishermen are finally in the camp. There's much work to do. They have to start fixing boats. So-called Baikal boats haven't changed over centuries. This technology has been used probably since the Cossacks and Yermak. These boats have been existing since the time when Russians came here. This is effective in the first place because it's wood and it doesn't sink. Even if the vessel is full of water, it remains buoyant. The boat's bottom and every sideboard need to be treated with resin. Melted cedar resin gets in all the holes and cracks. It seals the boards and makes the boat leak-proof. Yeah, if you're in a storm, the boat kind of recoils from the wave, like a seagull. If you have seen a seagull sitting on waves, the boat does the same. The fisherman camp is their summer home, 30 kilometers away from their village. Pfeiffer's team spend most of the year here. It takes a long time to build a team, and it takes a long time for fishermen to get used to one another before becoming a family. Not all novices pass tests to stay in the atoll. When someone new comes, you know them in the village, but here we live like a family. And here, people show their true selves. Someone tries to skimp work or something. Someone else works very hard. It's getting harder now to find young people. The profession is losing its status. The youth wants to go to the town. Experienced fishermen say they understand it. Earnings are not the highest here, and working conditions are hard. During the fishing season, you have to live away from home, eat what you caught, and sleep on a plank bed. Not everybody would like it. It's not even a habit, it's a lifestyle. When you sit at home, on a couch, you feel you need something different. Here, like they say, the harder the plank bed, the harder your bones. As children, we got used to this. And we pass this habit from generation to generation. In the evening, nobody in the camp is idle. Someone scales fish, someone peels potatoes, someone starts a fire. Fish soup and rozhnik are for dinner today. It's all fast and simple. That's our traditional dish, Baikal rozhnik. You need thalis to cook it. Yeah. And you need to eat the end too. If you leave it, they say you'll get no fish. No fish. How horrible would that be? All the science and superstitions of the fishermen prove that Baikal is a living creature. It's sometimes called master or father. Sometimes fishermen coax Baikal throwing sweets or pouring vodka to the lake. In the same old way, they trust in anything, God and devil. When a person drowns, I mean a fisherman, the last thing he sees are those mermaids. Those who saw them are not found in Baikal. The master takes his body. People from Baikal trust folk belief in signs not less than their own hands and eyes. These signs will always tell if tomorrow is a good day to go fishing. We have a proverb. If the sky's red in the evening, there's nothing to be afraid of. If it's red in the morning, fish will not be good. It means it will be windy. When clouds are tattered, we say the same. It's the way it is. If you live by the sea for a long time, you can see it. Severe men of Baikal spend here more time than at home. Not any person can stand it. Some fishermen start feeling homesick. The foreman was once trying to find something else besides fishing. One time, he even started a little woodworking business. But the sea didn't let him go. This feeling you get in extreme conditions, when I come back, I can feel that it gives me some advantage. In big cities, for example, I feel I'm stronger than other people because I can live in their conditions and they can't in mine. The whole team is sitting by the fire in the evening. They have discussed plans for tomorrow and are recalling things of the past, telling stories. Sometimes you can hear songs. The foreman is the one who plays.
Синее море, только море за кормой. Синее море, и далек наш путь домой.
Давайте вот мотивом.
Там за туманами, вечными пьяными, там за туманами берег наш родной.
Listening to music, everybody thinks of their relatives, wives who sent their children to sleep, elderly parents who can't stop worrying about their sons. Poems come after songs to tell about the family and relatives. We used to be friends as children, and now we have grown apart. My mother is ill, and I sent a message. Children, let's gather together. Our mom is ill.
Дети, очень срочно. Приезжайте. Заболела мать.
Younger fishermen don't know this feeling of yearning yet. Many of them don't have a family and kids yet. Some of the team's veterans have divorced many times. But everybody misses the shore, no matter who waits for them. A fisherman, however, is full of contradictions. Once ashore, he will want to get back to the sea. There's nothing you can do about it. At sea, you want to go home, and you can stay home for 2 or 3 days. You can't explain it. Of course, if you're at sea for a long time, you start missing your family and kids. The get-together is over. Voices are getting quieter. The fire's dying out. It's calm. Baikal is sleeping before a busy day. At dawn, we can hear the foreman's voice. He, as usual, gets up before the others. Hit the deck! Come on, guys. The Omel's going to leave. Morning procedures are brief. They wash themselves with cold Baikal water. Then they have a cup of hot tea from the kettle and then go fishing. The fishermen hope the weather will not be capricious today, and Baikal will have mercy at last to break the unlucky streak of bad weather. The foreman has to work for 2 people this year. The competition in the fishing trade is high on Baikal. You need to deliver more fish than others to compete with others. Procession companies only work with reliable and big suppliers. We decided to risk this year because we're working with a new company. The company we were working for was sold to another one. And this year we had to show our level here and there to the old company and to the new one. Fishermen open the trap. After the storm and a 3-day downtime, there's a lot of dead fish, but there's also live fish. It's not a big catch, but still something. Well, it's not much, but still something. But the thing is, one haul says a lot about a fisherman. You can have 1 or 2 hauls, but it has to be a lot. It's better than many small catches. There are a lot of inexperienced fishermen on the team. The foreman spends time with all of them. You either learn or go back home. Don't cut it like this next time. Get the fish to the trap. This boat. Come on. Hold it aside. You don't argue here. It's natural selection. Only the strongest survive. No democracy. The foreman is an authority beyond exception. His word is law. He controls everything with discipline. That's why the work here is smooth and fast. You have no time to coddle here when a boat is about to smash your face. You need to shout out loud to survive. Fishermen lift a trap with maybe several hundred kilos of fish. Even in July, water in Baikal is cold. The heavy wet net cuts their fingers, but here they don't pay attention to pain. Patience is the most important virtue for a fisherman. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I see we need to get it to the big boat, folks. Fishermen use handmade lift nets to rake out fish from the water. We have a good catch here. Fishery inspection controls the catch. Here's an inspection boat. The foreman and his assistant Vladimir Kreptov compare figures, how much fish they caught and how much they delivered. That's it. Yep, 3,800 is the catch as of the 20th. One doesn't exceed the catch limit. That is poaching. Everybody knows one another here. Poaching can set you back a job in the future. It's not only about fines and canceling a license, it's about fish, Baikal's treasure, that fishermen care most about. We're not trying to get the biggest catch. Today we understand that we have to take just the necessary amount and leave something for the next season in order to be able to fish like our ancestors did long ago. These unwritten laws are sacred for people around here. Traditions are kept on the shores of Baikal Lake. That's why the older fishermen are respected here. One of the most experienced fishermen in the village is Uncle Kolya. Here you are. Then you need to take it from here, otherwise it won't dry. So, you take it like this. He shares his experience lavishly. He's afraid that his craft will disappear after he dies, because handmade lift nets are much better than new plastic or metal ones. They're tested with time. Like that. If you bend it, you need to mark it here like that. Why? Making a lift net is not simple. You need to pick a right willow branch, clear it out, bend in a certain way, get it dry, and not break it. You guys learn while your old men are alive. Otherwise, nobody will be able to do it. Once we had Volodya Korgin, who made all this stuff. But after he died, nobody could do it. That's it. I've been doing this for a long time. I can do 10 or 15 nets. In summer, everybody comes over and begs for a lift net from me. Good. Every skillful fisherman has these nets. Old people grumble that younger fishermen don't care much about nets because you can always buy a new one. In the old times, they had to fix nets with their own hands. These people are like that, so careless. We, the old, used to have one net for 5 or 6 years. Today, they can break it and throw it away. You see? Just like that. Pfeiffer's fishermen rake out fish using these lift nets handmade by Uncle Kolya. They work fast, changing one another. One person won't do such a job. The foreman is in as well. All right, give me the net. Did you miss it? Yeah, you bet. When the boat is full, they start cleaning the trap. Not the most pleasant thing to do. You have to take each dead fish with your hands, but it's a hell of a feast for seagulls hovering around. When the catch is loaded in the boats, the team goes back to the village. The road home is not short, but they don't hurry because the weather permits it. Fishermen know that their families hope they'll return with a catch, but during storms, they happen to come back empty-handed. Home folks are waiting for them ashore. Fish is reloaded to wooden boxes. The lorry takes it to a fish processing factory. A part of the catch is given to friends. Choose something big, Volodya. All right. Uncle Kolya always gets Omo as a sign of respect. He taught many of those who are on the team now. Here you go, Uncle Kolya. Come on, let's get it to my car. Where? Here's the Neva. Put, right next to it. Local boys help the fishermen unload the catch and wash the boats. Children get used to fishery here from the cradle. They'll sell several smoked fish to tourists and earn their pocket money. Severe fishermen were kids, too. We used to come here as kids. We used to meet fishermen and wash their boats. Sometimes we caught hell, right? Those foremen, they were hard men. They had no time to be gentle with us. They didn't see their own children. That's how we live now. The difference is that it was even harder then. The times were different. Work was in the first place. These guys are a bit older, so they come help us. They don't go to sea every day, but they work for hire. So they've worked for a day, and we pay them with fish, and they're quite happy with this. The load is almost finished, and the foreman is on his way home. His wife, as always, takes him. No other person but fishermen can experience this joy of ashore meetings.
Hey.
Hey,
How are you?
it's all right. Being a fisherman's wife is not simple, waiting for him night and day for years, imagining him among cold waves. When Natalia meets her husband, she prepares for the next separation. She knows that he'll miss the sea again. Olga Khreptova has finally talked her husband into going to Baikal to spend some time together. Now, when there's less work, the fishermen can finally swim there.
How's it going?
Great. Water's great. I live near Baikal, but I'm so busy working that I have no time to swim. Thanks to my wife, I did today. The Kreptovs enjoy their rare hours together. Sitting here, just the two of them looking at the water is not what they often do. Maybe because we don't do it often, we get a stronger feeling. Because these minutes become more precious, right? It's the way it is. The less you want to leave home, the more you're eager to go back to work on the sea. But Pfeiffer can't sit within four walls for long. His soul demands adventures in the sound of waves. This time, however, he's accompanied not by the team, but by his family. He promised his daughters a real fishing trip on Baikal. All present, in a boat in mid-Baikal, surrounded by his folks, doing his favorite thing. This must be real happiness for the severe foreman of a fisherman team. Here you go, darling. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here you are. Good girl. When you grow up, girls, Papa will dismiss his team and will work with his family. And we'll do it all together. From olden times, people who live on the shores of this lake don't want to change their life. It's hard to live by the sea. Fishermen know the worth of hard labor, but they can't live without the sea, without risk, without the joy of ashore meetings. They can't. Someone leaves the village in search of a better life, but they, descended from families of fishermen, stay here, in this severe country.
Всем делам моим на суше вопреки, и назло моим заботам на земле. Вы возьмите меня в море, моряки, я все вахты отстаю на корабле. Вы за мной пришлите шлюпку, моряки, поднесите рюмку водки на весле.